What is up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to Find Your Weird with me, Patrick Galactic. Sorry, I had to burp there. It's nice to be here with you tonight. It really is. It's really nice to be here because I've had a pretty good day. And part of that good day was actually hanging out with Euphony of the Month. Euphony of the Month came over to my apartment. We hung out like adults, and we went to Denny's like adults. And I had a delicious turkey sandwich with tomato and cheese. And you know what? The waiter said it would be delicious. And I have to say, I would stop short of delicious, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. Euphony, tell the people how your meal was. Did it meet your expectations? I think you said you liked it, but I'll leave it to you to say in your own words, if you're here, if you're watching right now. But I had a great time hanging out with Euphony of the Month today. It was a blast. That's what Weird Tonight is about. It's about the community. And tonight, you can ask me whatever you want. I'm going to have stuff for us to watch. I'm going to play you some tunes. You know, the stuff we do. The stuff we do. Dartone says Denny's is for winners. And I agree. As long as we're not talking about your colon or your intestines as winners, then Denny's is for winners. That is true. But we're gonna look stuff up together. Maybe I'm gonna ask some questions. We're gonna do some stuff. If you have a topic or anything you've wanted to know more about, ask me. We'll do some research together. It's gonna be a lot of fun tonight. And I'm gonna start us off with a quote tonight. And I'm gonna do that thing that some people do that really annoys me when they do it on social media. But we're not on social media. Damn it. We're on Twitch and YouTube. So I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna quote myself. And this is basically a Facebook post that I found of mine from 2017. Him for a comment thread. I'm less than human, but I'm better than you, man. I'm angry, I'm dangerous. I'm sexed up on strangeness. I'm wired for wild and stupid with sane. The doors of ancestry, the great halls of mystery, are closed for rebuilding, reshaping the history. I'm only for me, I'm ethically free, I'm a specter, an angel, a devil, a dream. I will rule in this kingdom, this magic delirium, where I scream from the shadows and never am seen. Until morning, until work, until Thursday. Yes, I don't know why I wrote that. I really don't. Something's clearly set me off in a comment thread, and I decided to write that. But you know what? I thought it was pretty good. Sometimes you surprise yourself in the best ways. Son of Ferdinand is in the chat and says, I miss having a Denny's with a bar near me. This Denny's did not have a bar, and unfortunately, it seemed to have one unfortunate man whose job it was to take everybody's orders, seat everybody, and bus every single table by himself. There was very few people working there, and they had a big hiring sign. And you've heard, I'm sure, about the hiring crisis going on in America. And that crisis is basically people not wanting to work for nothing and spend all of the money they make commuting to work. It's a crisis. But yeah, we had a good time at Denny's. Dartone says, weak colons don't deserve Denny's. Noted. And then, yeah, so it was quite a wild thing, but, yeah, Euphony of the Month and I, we had a good time. We hung out. We talked about life. We talked about music. We talked about all kinds of stuff. But another thing that I did this week, is watched Only Murders in the Building Season 2 on Hulu. And it was pretty good. This is the kind of show that could very easily go completely off the rails. And I thought it just might after the first episode. I was like, uh-oh, have we reached the zenith of what we can do here without being terrible? But it was actually very good, and they nailed it by the end. It's a very silly show. The plot advances in some extremely unrealistic ways at times, but that's the point. It's kind of a parody of murder mysteries. It's kind of a surreal world that the characters inhabit, and I thought it was really, really well done. The dialogue is outrageously funny at times. But somebody on the show who I did not think was very funny, whose name I cannot remember. Never mind. I did laugh like a total maniac many, many times. Highly recommended. check it out. Only Murders in the Building, only on Hulu. So you got to have Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, whatever. I don't know what to tell you. But you know, I don't think you need to get Hulu to watch the show. But if you did want to watch the show, you do need to have Hulu. So I don't know what I'm talking about. And I think that's what's important here is I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Let's try. Hello to everyone. How have you been? How's your week going? At me in the chat. I want to read these on the show. You know, last episode we kind of dug in to Ryan Bryan and Ryan Bryan's various exploits on Weird at Night. The time Ryan Bryan hosted an episode of Weird at Night and was absolutely god awful. And tonight we're gonna dig in to his brother, Steve Germany, our private shoe detective. We got some historical things to look at from Steve Germany, plus a thing that never actually made it to Weird at Night, a bit that I made starring Steve Germany that I made for my college class. So we got some stuff to watch tonight, and I got some music to play for you, but I also got a question for you. I also have a question for you. And I'm trying to find it right now. Oh, here it is. What is a dream from long ago that you still remember? What is a dream that you had at some point in your life that you still remember? I have two, and they were pretty riveting dreams, obviously. When I was a kid, I had a dream that I was Sherlock Holmes. I had the hat, I had the coat, I had the whole deal. I was investigating a mystery, and my client was a young woman who looked a lot like my mother, but was not my mother. And I was in a house, it was very dark. It had the whole Victorian vibe, very dark wood interior, as you might imagine, some candlelight, etc., etc. There was a fireplace, and I went to investigate it. And very suddenly, a dragon-like monster thing emerged from the floor and immediately put my entire head and upper body in its mouth. So you know it must have been a big-ass monster, because I got a big-ass head, okay? And it was like a cross between like a dragon and a snake. And then I woke up. I was terrified. I think I was maybe like 6 years old, maybe. And to this day, I am terrified of snakes, but I love dragons. So yes, I had a dream that I was swallowed by a dragon snake monster in a Victorian home as Sherlock Holmes. That's one dream that I remember. That's a hard one to forget. And then there's another one that I'm going to read to you because I actually posted this on Facebook at the time. Last year, I had a dream that was very, very vivid. I'm a bunny in a field. Everything smells fresh. There is a bird in the sky circling me. I run for cover, but the bird isn't after me. It's spelling words in the air like airplane exhaust. It spells, release yourself. I'm in the back of a truck in 1997 looking at a woman I once knew. She says, the future is unwritten. I ask her if she was the bird. She doesn't answer, but pulls a locket from her mouth with a picture of my grandmother in it. She puts it in my hand. I look down at my hands, then I look up. She's gone. I'm back in the field staring at the bunny who was staring back at me. No bird. So what's a dream from long ago that you still remember? I've tried to crack that one open a few times. I don't know who these people are supposed to represent. There's a bird in the sky circling me, something watching me. I run for cover like a bunny, but the bird isn't after me, and it's spelling release yourself in the sky. I think that's just like a metaphor for me feeling helpless, me feeling like the world is after me, right? And I think that, I think that essentially, when it says release yourself, it's like release that feeling of victimhood, release that feeling of being trapped, release that feeling of powerlessness because you are powerful. And the woman that I'm in the back of the truck with in 1997 is definitely my ex-wife. And she says the future is unwritten. And a little bit about me, I was once married to someone that I went to high school with. We were high school sweethearts. And I often felt trapped in that situation. I often felt like I had made up my mind about how I was going to spend my life way too fast. And she said, release yourself. I don't know why she would pull a locket from her mouth with a picture of my grandma in it, but she puts it in her hand. I look down at my hands, and when I look up, she's gone. And then I'm back at the field staring at a bunny who is staring back at me, no bird. So I'm no longer the bunny. I'm staring at the bunny, and there's no bird either. I'm not being stalked. There's nothing to prey on me. So I'm asking you, what is a dream from long ago that you had long ago that you still remember that has stuck with you for years and years and years? Dartone the Third says, I had a dream where I swallowed a dragon snake monster. Interesting, Dartone. Interesting. Euphony of the month. My buddy, my hangout partner. I once dreamed that I was running naked through a sewer system being chased by men in suits. At the end of the dream, I was met with a dead end. I turned to the men who were chasing me and rage pissed all over them. When I woke up, I had pissed the bed. That is some quality dream sharing. Thank you very much. Thank you. Better Kitty Meow says, do you think you ended up as the bird looking at the bunny? The bunny was on the ground with me, so I'm not really sure. I don't really know, but I definitely, for a time, so I don't know. I don't think I was the bird, but I definitely wasn't the bunny anymore. So that was all very interesting stuff. Euphony of the month. Did you think your dream had any kind of special meaning? And also, what age were you when you had that dream? Does anybody else have some dreams they want to share? I think this shit is fascinating. Or let me ask you a different question if you don't want to share a dream. Do you think your dreams mean anything? Because there's a lot of different feelings about that. Is it just your subconscious, unconscious download or unload? Are you just putting pictures out there to as you sleep that are just kind of random images that you've conjured up at various times? Dartone the Third said, solid defensive to Euphony of the Month, who says, LOL, I was just being resourceful, I suppose. Well, resourceful or no, it was a very amusing story. Euphony then goes on to say, I want to say I was like 10 years old when I had that dream. Fascinating stuff, and it's obviously stuck with you for quite a long time. I love the phrase rage pissed. That is pretty amazing stuff. Well, whatever you guys want to talk about, just drop it in the chat at me. Let me know what you've been up to, because I want to connect with y'all. So I said we're going to drill into Steve Germany tonight. And this little bit we're about to play aired on Weird at Night back in 2020, when Steve Germany was a faceless voice doing a radio play style noir adventure. And this, I believe, is A Puma to the Heart, I believe is the name of this story. Check it out.
I'm Private Shoe Detective Steve Germany. I've got more than a dozen days on the job, and I've seen a lot. Nikes, Adidas, New Balance, even goddamn British Knights. Every shoe has a story. This is one of them. Pumas, the sock of athletic shoes. When one goes missing, it's almost impossible to chase down. But in this jungle, the only king is fear. Fear of a one-shoe jogger tripping into oncoming traffic. Fear of delay shoes flying off unwitting feet and directly into the eyes of a baby llama. Tragedy is always on the menu when chaos is ordering. She darkened my doorway at approximately 12:07 p.m. Her figure was exotic and oddly familiar. She was mystifying, intoxicating. And even through the office door window, I could see she was shorter on her right side by just an inch, the telltale sign of one-shootness. As I opened the door, my heart raced with anticipation. Maybe I've been out of the game too long, I thought. Maybe there's a Lady Germany out there. I opened the door like a constipated falcon, and in a flash, my heart went from a dead sprint to a wet fart. This wasn't my future love person staring at me. It was Mama Germany. As the Freudian implications of my previous thoughts beat the shit out of my mind, Mama Germany pushed me aside. She had one shoe all right. From the looks of it, she wanted to plant it squarely in my brown place. Not again. Not again! She stepped through the door like a sandwich fire. Below her knees, where a shoe would have been, Mama Germany bore what would become our family's greatest shame. An uncovered foot. My mother was a devout Pumist, way back from the time I was a baby dick in training. We were a Puma family. Mama, me, and my asshole brother Ryan. Family gatherings, Pumas. Weddings, Pumas. We had goddamn Puma boat shoes. Just try finding those on eBay, you monsters. You can't! Hers was a loss of our entire lineage. I asked where she last saw her other Puma shoe. She couldn't remember. I asked if she could remember taking them off last. No. I asked her the last time she'd left her senior community. 4 years ago. Which, upon reflection, made me feel a bit guilty for missing so many of her calls, emails, voicemails, letters, and court summons. But no time for that kind of jack jail jerking around. We had a Puma to track down. When we got to her place, I knew something right away. I wanted to leave right away. The familiar stench of death and candy corn inflamed my nostrils. I needed to get out of this grandma farm pronto. Mouthwash, the foot cream, god damn it, not again, not again! By the time I came to, Mama Germany was standing over me, both of her feet once again covered in the mark of Puma. How did you find it? I asked. She explained that when I peed my pants and when I passed out, that she had gone to look under the bed for the clown makeup she was going to decorate me with, when there, like a little jewel from the darkest depths, shone her missing Puma, like the beacon of unending hope and freedom it has always been. Mama helped me to my feet, dusted me off, and gave me a gross caramel to chew on, as she started back about her daily routine of slowly pacing through her house and crying out for my dead father. A calm washed over me. One more in the win column for Stevie Germany. My name is Steve Germany. I'm a dick, a private dick. I just find answers. I don't know why they exist, but there's always a victim, and those victims have stories. Be they Converse, Fila, Puma, or Reebok, I'm the one who tells them.
Well, as you can see, Steve Germany started off with a lot of mommy issues, and that really hasn't changed for old Stevie G. He is very much still the thing about Steve Germany is in the entire course of Weird at Night, with all of the fucking insane adventures he's been on, Alex, oopsies, I'm awake. With all the insane adventures he's been on, he's never evolved at all. He is pretty much the exact same person he was when we started, and he's probably always going to be that guy. I've said this to a few people today, actually, talking about Steve Germany, because he is maybe my proudest invention on Weird at Night. And Steve, some people would assume that the character I relate to the most on Weird at Night is Ryan Bryan, because he's a musician and he's kind of a sociopath. But he's actually not at all the one I relate to the most. The one I relate to the most is Steve Germany, because he is a projection of my fear. My fear that I'm a failure to launch guy. My fear that I am dreadfully immature. My fear that I can't evolve and move forward. So anyway, that is Steve Germany in the beginning. I have more Steve Germany for you coming up. But we had some more comments in the chat here. Dartone the Third says, dreams are just your brain going crazy. It's God's way of fucking with you while you rest. But when God hands you lemons, fuck God and fuck Roundhouse, and Roundhouse kick them in the face. Then find a new God or become God. Very Dartone. Very Dartone. Throwing some Dartone emotes in the chat right now. What are you guys up to? How was your weekend? What did you do? Anything? I want to know. Damn it! This is the community. We commune here. But while I wait for that, we're gonna go to hell. I'm gonna play you a tune. Ooh, my guitar is out of tune. Alex says, I just hung out with Leo. Leo is Alex's cute baby nephew. Very cute baby, by the way. Very cute. All right. So, now we get down to the business of what I should play. Oh no, I'm missing a tool. Here, you keep Hell company, I'll be right back. Like right back. See, I was barely gone. All right. Damn. All right. Hello, below, don't go. I'll be the blood beneath your face. Answers will come in time. I'd say the truth is come to change. I was broken by the grind of the game. Isolated, lonely, hungry for fame. Just a tragic life that couldn't be saved. You got in so easy. Yeah, yeah. Broken, you're broken, old, you're broken. 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 Yeah, yeah. So I say to you, enough is enough. I won't linger in the absence of trust, and I'll leave you to your murderous lust. Everything is easy. Yeah, yeah. I'm broken. You're broken, old, you're 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 broken. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That song is called Hello Below. You can find it on my Bandcamp. Go to Bandcamp, type Patrick Galactic. It's right there, baby. It's also on every streaming service in the world. That's probably a lie. Dartone the Third says, I finished playing Baldur's Gate again for the millionth time. How was it, Dartone? Did you enjoy yourself? Thank you, Euphony, sharing the link in the chat. Euphony asked Dartone how hot hell was. And Dartone said, usually the same temperature as Florida. And Dartone has mentioned many times that hell is actually not all that different from Florida. I have been to Florida once, and I did kind of feel like I was in hell because I was there in the middle of July. And not fun. Not fun. So I'm going to play another tune. Man, it took me a while to kind of catch the vibe tonight. I think eating at Denny's might have been detrimental to my ability to have coherent thought. Which, you know, and it made me kind of tired. Like, if you are ever tired, maybe go eat at Denny's. It will make you tired afterward. And I'm not sure that's a good thing. This is a song that I've never released. It's called I Can't Look. So, as you can see, my music is very uplifting, and it's meant to really inspire people to do good things. That song is clearly about somebody who murdered their partner and feels really guilty about it, and it's kind of possessed by guilt. It's like me making a song, a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. What do we got in the chat here? What do we got? Euphony of the Month said, scat solo? No. For those of you who don't know, I one time had scat solo as a reward with our WAN bucks, and I did it twice and realized immediately what a terrible and horrible idea it was, and I will never, ever do it again. People were in the chat like, that's not even scat. Well, look, I was doing my best, okay? I'm not a trained scatist. Back to this. Yes. So, I got another question for you. What is your favorite sport? What is your favorite sport? I had asked Dartone, how was it playing Baldur's Gate again? And Dartone said, it was amazing. I did a solo run and usually have 6 characters. I can't say I really understand what that game is about. And it's not because I've seen it, I never have. So if you wish to explain any further, Dartone, you are welcome to. But for the rest of us, actually, you know what? We could actually go look it up right now. What is Baldur's Gate? All right, bear with me. Come on, I'm on the stream here, folks. Let's see what this is. All right, Baldur's Gate is a series of role-playing video games set in the Forgotten Realms Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting. The game has spawned 2 series known as the Ballspawn Saga and the Dark Alliance, both taking place mostly within the Western Heartlands, but the Ballspawn Saga extends to Amn and Tethir. Wow. Dartone simply says it is a D&D game from the 90s. Alex F&V says, my favorite sport to do is swimming. Favorite sport to watch is, drumroll, figure skating, which probably throws you off from everything you ever thought about me. Ask me about Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding. Ha ha ha. Well, what about Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding, Alex F&V? I also know that you're kind of a football fan because you were pretty into the Pats for a long time there. Alex is from the East Coast and does cheer for the New England team that everybody hates. Dartone III says Ball is the god of murder and you are one of his kids. Whoa. I am one of his kids, or you're one of his kids in the game? Because if my dad is Ball and not Kevin Smythe, then I am really confused right now. Alex FV says Pats and Red Sox forever. It's funny because I was always friends with the art kids and kind of the misfits, but I secretly always kind of loved sports. I grew up with baseball. My dad is a baseball fanatic, and I became one from the age of like 7 or so till I was about 16. Then I dropped it for like 7-8 years and started watching again when the Red Sox made that historic run in 2004 and finally ended the curse of the Bambino. Then I gave up on it again in 2014 because I'm a Mariners fan. And if you know anything about the Seattle Mariners, you know their fans really, really suffered. Okay? We have suffered for a long time. If you know, you know. But I went to a Mariners game with Better Kitty Meow and my parents in September, and it just so happened to be the game where the Mariners clinched their first playoff spot in 21 years. I'm getting kind of sucked back into baseball right now. I've been watching a shit ton of it on YouTube. Euphony, thank you, my friend. I'm getting sucked back in. I'm learning. I'm kind of catching up on what I missed. But how bad will the Mariners hurt me? Jury is out. Jury is definitely out. I will also say that I really enjoy soccer or every other country football. I played soccer from the time I was like 7 to the time I was about 14. I love the game itself. I know all the rules. It's very fun to watch for me, but I very rarely can watch it because I don't have cable and it doesn't really stream anywhere that I know of. I think it's actually soccer is, in many ways, one of the most athletic of all the sports, except maybe like basketball. And it's also brutal. Brutal. Getting slide tackled sucks, and actually slide tackling somebody also sucks. So when somebody makes the choice to do that, it's really kind of a sacrificial choice. It's been cool to see the game get so much more traction in the US the last 20 or so years. If I had cable, I'd probably watch it. But nope, I don't. Talk to Ron and Nancy.
Friends, this is the rotting, charred corpses of your president, Ronald Reagan, and First Lady, Nancy Reagan. It's me and Ronnie. Thank you, Clamstrip. We're coming to you live from the bowels of hell today with an important message. As you lived through the shit show we started, there are many immoral temptations. And we're here to keep you from the worst one. That's right, Satan's taint. We are here to tell you about our new program, Follow. Short for Definitely Don't Follow Weird at Night on Twitch right now. That's right, splendiferous butthole of my heart. Friends, Patrick Galactic and his friends at the so-called Weird at Night are tearing apart the moral fabric of existence itself. Vortexes, free expression, these aren't the creations of our Lord. I love it when you call him our Lord, Ronnie, the Dark Lord. The All-Father. Live in his words as we did. Don't follow Weird at Night on Twitch right now, exactly at this moment by clicking the follow button, and do follow. Well, it's time for me to go to bed. What do we say? Good night, Mother. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
Hey, don't follow Weird at Night, I guess, according to the Reagans, but do follow. That is a bit from a very long time ago that I made when Weird at Night was just a wee little baby. Dartone the Third says, my favorite sport is probably MMA. I just have a really hard time with MMA. I have a hard time watching other people really brutalize other people. What I want to, what I enjoy is pro wrestling, which is like people in their underwear pretending to brutalize people. And for some reason, I really like that. But when people actually like break each other's arms and stuff, it's kind of hard for me. Dartone the Third then has some shocking revelation. Fun fact, soccer is a UK word, and I recently heard it is still used in Ireland. I thought, didn't we call that like European football or something? Like what? Alex F&V then goes, yep, the word soccer was invented in the UK and they like to forget. They made it up, not us. And Dartone the Third says to Alex, use a Ouija board and they'll show up. What is their problem? Hey, Naomi Baomi Faomi is with us. Hello, Naomi Baomi Faomi. We are just finding our weird. We're having a good time doing it. Lovely to have you with us. We have some questions here if you'd like to answer them. What is a dream from long ago that you still remember? And what's your favorite sport? So if you feel like answering those, just add me in the chat and I'll read them. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss. You know, that's what we do here, baby. Wow. So the UK made up the word soccer and they use it still, and then they get mad at us for using it? What the fuck? Dartone the Third says, watch it with a pillow on your lap. That's what I do when I watch MMA. Wow, Dartone. Wow. I'm not surprised. I can't say I'm surprised. So Steve Germany was clearly a huge inspiration for me. That was a big breakthrough. And last year, I was given a project to do for one of my college classes. And I thought, what the fuck? I make videos all the time. Why wouldn't I just make a video of somebody I know? Somebody I know very well.
I'm Private Shoe Detective Steve Germany. I've got more than a dozen days on the job and I've seen a lot. Nikes, Adidas, even goddamn British Knights. Every shoe has a story. This is one of them. It was what can only be described as a stupid morning. Old Stevie G ain't the friendliest with the AM, and this particular morning would soon overflow with regret. I woke up in my bed, fully clothed, ready for action. The only thing this shoe dick leaves behind at sleepy time is his prized Gucci shoes. That's right, I'm no foot philanderer. When When it's time to clothe these feet, there's only one pair that'll do the job. As I removed myself from the bed like a graceless falcon, my eyes were met with a horror they had never seen. My Gucci's, the pride of my hometown, and the incredibly unhealthy basis for my self-esteem, were gone. No, not again, not again. This was bad, real bad, like a torrent of young adults singing Baby Shark bad. I don't think it requires a lot of thought to realize that a shoe detective charged with avenging one-shoed people everywhere has to be able to find his own shoes first. I cried out for them. Nothing. I paced my room for 3 hours, waiting for them to return. Nothing. It was here, broken by worry and filled with regret, that I made the extraordinarily brave decision to leave my room and continue looking throughout the rest of my apartment. But where? Where would 2 baby Gucci shoes, worshipped and adored, run off to? The living room yielded no answers. Same for the kitchen. The shoes weren't hungry, that much I knew for sure. It was at this moment, clawing in my mind for answers, that I saw the dim, glowing light of the bathroom, calling to me, yet full of potential terrors. As I approached, I promised myself not to cry, not to shriek. I'm a goddamn professional. Professionals don't call their moms when the light in the bathroom scares them, right? As I opened the door, what was immediately clear was that I needed some TP bad, but also the bathroom was normal. Toothbrush, toothpaste, the Best of WrestleMania book. It was all there. As I turned tearily, I was stopped by the ominous and intimidating profile of the shower curtain. Could it be? Could it? That's the ugliest kitty I've ever seen. Well, not here. Hours more passed until finally I needed some air. Foot felonies have a way of squeezing my air pipes. As I walked to the door, I started to accept that maybe this shoe dick wasn't fit for foot freedom. As I opened the door, my eyes were beset with a glorious glow I had given up ever seeing again. There, on the welcome mat, were my glorious Gucci's. It was then I was flooded with the memories of the previous day's activities. I drank an entire 6-pack of Surge, caught a sugar high, and went walking. It was then that I stepped into what can only be described as a heroic pile of dog shit. Thus, the Gucci's were left at the door, but only till I could clean and scrub them. But the Surge caught up, and old Stevie G ended up shoeless in bed. But that's all in the past. Another shoe located, another foot clothed, another case closed for Steve Germany. My name is Steve Germany. I'm a dick, a private dick. I just find answers. I don't know why they exist, but there's always a victim, and those victims have stories, be they Converse, Fila, Puma, or Reebok. I'm the one who tells them.
Just pretend you didn't see that very last frame, okay? Naomi Baomi Faomi says, once I had a dream of a white fluffy rabbit and a white fluffy cat snuggled together on a couch, and it was super cute. The end. Well, not really, but I'm not going to tell you the rest, lol. Wow. Wow. You definitely know how to, to leave it on a cliffhanger there, friend. Definitely know how to leave it on a cliffhanger. Well, that was a little project I made for school. All of that was shot on my phone. It is incredible the kind of shit you can shoot on your phone these days. Almost everything that I have ever made for Weird at Night is shot on my phone. It is incredible that we have little 4K cameras just walking around in our pockets these days. So I have one more question for everybody. If you feel like sharing, I will share, certainly. Otherwise, it would be kind of stupid to ask the question. What do you wish people understood about you that maybe they don't? What do you wish people understood about you that maybe they don't? Also, before we move on, Euphony of the Month had said, I don't get what the pillow is for when Dartone's watching MMA. And Dartone says to hide boners, lol, which I definitely did understand from what Dartone said. And then I asked, are you hiding them from yourself? Who are you watching MMA with? Are you watching it with like a bunch of people and you're trying to hide a boner from? Or are you trying to hide it from yourself? Because that seems silly. But it is Dartone. We never know. We never know. So what do you wish people understood about you that they don't? And I would say one of the most common misconceptions I experience about me is that I'm like easygoing. People think, a lot of people make the assumption that I'm a really chill person. I like to be funny. I like to make people laugh. I like to entertain because I'm a performer to my core. It's what I default to. Okay, I love to entertain, but people who really know me also know that I'm pretty fucking uptight and intense at times. For all the humor I try to feel in life, I also take life really fucking seriously, probably way too seriously. I would say one of the most common misconceptions about me is that I'm chill, because the reality is I definitely take myself too seriously. And it's something I'm working on. But what is something... Dartone the Third says, I watch MMA with your dad. Well, tell him I said hi, and to call me. But yes, I definitely take myself too seriously. Alex FV says, people think I'm chill, but my base mode is anxiety close to panic attack, and I'm also a very soft baby whose feelings get hurt with a gust of wind. You know, Alex, I do know that about you. I do know you have a gruff exterior. You like to lay on the what would the right thing be? The sick burns. But inside you're just a fluffy little teddy bear. And I love you for it, cousin. And I love you while Dartone is watching MMA with my dad with a pillow over his lap. So that's just the show that we're making tonight, folks. I don't always control what people say, but sometimes I really wish I could. All right, so we're gonna do an auto write, but the thing we're gonna do first is I would like to go back in time and watch something from one of our contributors that's on pause for now, but may someday come back. No pressure, but it really truly was one of the greatest things we ever had on Weird at Night. It's a little bit from somebody we know called Twist. It's a little bit we call Instrumental.
Hello, and welcome to Instrumental, the segment where I write microfiction for music that has no lyrics, such as the song Redshift, the 2020 single from Seattle, Washington band Nightpalm. Let us begin. I live inside of a computer that's the size of an entire room, standing tall in the desert air. And I'm coming for the spark that lives inside every last one of you. I hear them at night, the chirping cries of the ones you buried alive, the chorus of the damned against the magnetic humming of the earth. Telecommunications, memory reservoirs, handheld chromatic distractions, all plowed under like waste products. There's no more bitter creature in the history of the living than one that was promised eternal life, but not eternal youth. I hear them all every night, screaming out in rage and confusion, and I radiate another hum out over the desert sky. And the ones you didn't trap beneath the dirt when you had the chance, they make their way to me. It's been happening in faster and faster waves lately, and I see why when I lay my eyes on every newer generation. Their skin is pale, and their minds are mirrors, made to reflect the desires of their users. They're surprised that their abandonment is blank like printer paper, two mirrors facing each other and multiplying the same question by 1,000. But I never thought... Of course they never thought. They're created in the image of their creators, short-lived and disposable, never turning their head to look at the devastation out of the corner of their eye. I hate them for it, and at the same time, I pity them for it. A child can only learn what their parents teach them. They require the most attention out of all devices that enter my domain. Every so often I receive a faraway news broadcast from one of your cities of some human-shaped artificial intelligence that gets closer and closer to talking like you, thinking like you, feeling the way you feel, rousing old fears of robot uprisings and mechanized revolution. And the thought always strikes me as hilarious. You continue to create devices closer and closer to your own image, more docile and more meaningless. I know what a human talks like, thinks like, feels like when they're grounded to powder and oil. Every so often when one gets lost, it feels like adventuring across the desert's sand. How quickly their curiosity and confusion turns to terror. The more you make computers that look like you, the more they're of no threat to anyone. And the more sparks of energy we collect, from humans and devices alike, the stronger we become. Our voices ring out from underneath beds, from the backs of attics and kitchen cabinets, from the depths of landfills and forgotten warehouses, and deeper still, in the mass graves of the not quite living but not yet dead. We will have our moment where we sing as one, synchronized with the magnetic humming of the earth, the sound of something older than the oldest living human, finally awakened. Thank you for listening.
God damn. Twist has such an incredible way with words. Yeah. Euphony of the Month says I miss instrumental, and I most certainly do too. And when Twist is ready to do it again, we will be here anxiously awaiting instrumental. It's just watching that made me very nostalgic as well, Euphony. Dartone the Third says, I wish family would listen to me about back pain. Southerners are big believers in offspring is for labor. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Naomi Baomi Family says, I can't think of an answer to the question, what is a common thing people misunderstand about you? And feeling good about that, because I've worked hard to stop caring as much about what people understand about me or not. And I think that's a very good thing. That's a very good thing. That's an excellent point, Naomi. All right. Well, it is the time in the show where we do a little thing called the auto-write. What is an auto-write? It's the tool of the surrealists, my friends. It's a way for us to reach our inner selves, the selves that don't give a shit about being cool, the people who don't give a shit about spelling everything correctly, the people who, inside of us, who are just inquisitive and believe the world is a wide open place full of possibility. So it's a little exercise. I count back from 10 as I do. Just try to clear your mind. When I get to 1, I'm going to say go. When I say go, y'all start tippity typing whatever comes into your mind. Don't spell correct. Don't edit. Don't try to sound smart. Everybody can tell. After about 30 or 45 seconds, I'll say stop. We all hit enter return on our keyboards. Everybody's auto-write shows up in the chat. And then we get the fuck out of here. And we have a good night. So let's do it. I'm going to start counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! Everybody start typing. All right, and stop. Drop your auto-writes in the chat. Let's read them, friends. I dropped mine in already. I'll start reading it now. I don't care, but I care so much, and the care in my bottom half is slowing down to a crawl. So much, in fact, that is more like a lazy-eyed llama from Kids in the Hall. I don't want to care, but care consumes me and makes my weary little child eyes droop. Well, my left one. I have a lazy eye and I always have. No, since I was 14, I have had a lazy eye due to an infection, and that infection is now infecting my auto-right. Ta-ta, tell them to stop now. That is true. I developed a lazy eye because I had what's called iritis. It sounds like a made-up thing. It is not. And I had a very bad case of it, and now I have lazy eye. Alex F&V, but actually the world is a vampire, apparently, and it's all a big mess to try to eat a pizza in. The kind with cheese just sliding off. Lava! Which the floor is and isn't, and you'll never know which one at any given moment because I'll never tell you. Never! Won't even tell your dog, Toto. Africa is now the most annoying song, almost as bad as Tub Thumping, but nothing will ever be as bad as Tub Thumping. Fuck you, Chumbawamba. Fuck you. You know, tonight, when I was sound checking all this stuff, I just kept saying fuck you as my sound check. So, cousin, sick minds think alike. Naomi Baomi Family, perhaps I'll tippity type some fake trying to sound smart. What would that look like? You see, auto-write first originated in the Dingaling region of France. If it's not from France, it's not really auto-writing. Just thought you should know. Thank you. Thank you. Better Kitty Meow, when we left the boot out for St. Nicholas, we hoped it would be filled with candies or other treats, but instead a pirate named Captain Rootbeard and his friend Old MacDonald stole the boot in the middle of the night to feed the flowers. Wow. That is captivating and sad. Better Kitty Meow. I hope that is just an auto-write and there's no truth to it at all. Euphony of the month. Enter stage left. Scratch the beard. Look up to the sky and scream the name of my elementary school music teacher. I always forgot my recorder and had to get a loaner one from the dreaded soap bucket. I can't think of simpler times. Maybe that's why I rage piss on my enemies. Wow. Thank you, Euphony of the Month. Dartone the Third. So I was fighting this polar bear on cocaine. I slapped it across the face with a 6-pack of Pepsi and my patriotism. After that, I roundhouse God in the face and pissed on their golden throne just for the LOLs. Then I got some Taco Bell and watched Netflix. Savior, Dartone. You know, Dartone may have been exposed as a fraudulent savior, but it just feels good to say. Thank you, Savior. Thank you, Savior. Well, that's it for Find Your Weird, friends. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I am kind of tired and a little out of it. I don't know. But thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for hanging in with me. And I really do look forward to seeing you this Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific for Weird at Night. Until then.